Manchester United lost on penalties in the Community Shield against Manchester City, but the signs were positive for the Red Devils. Erik Ten Hag's side struggled in the opening 30 minutes and were lucky not to find themselves behind when James McAtee hit the post. However, Manchester United fought their way back into the game and created good chances themselves, with Mason Mount unable to get on the end of an Ahmad pass and Marcus Rashford missing a golden opportunity. The promising display continued in the second half and United eventually took the lead through Alehandro Garnacho's fine finish. Bernardo Silva equalised late on to force a penalty shootout which was won 7-6 by the Blues, with Johnny Evans skying the decisive spot kick in sudden death. Amad Diallo was one of Manchester United's bright sparks during the game at Wembley, with the Ivorian set to start against Fulham next Friday. It was certainly a tight game at Wembley Stadium, a stark contrast to United's dramatic 2-1 victory over City in the FA Cup final back in May. Marcus Rashford struck the post late on for the Red Devils. Alehandro Garnacho struck late on with a brilliant left-footed finish before Bernardo Silva netted a header at the back post. Manchester United were not victorious in the penalty shootout against City, but there were certainly positive signs for the Red Devils. First of, Amad Diallo was magnificent on the right. It was a frustrating campaign for Ahmad last season, with Erik Ten Hag preferring Anthony Alehandro Garnacho, so the Ivorian was left on the sidelines. After a promising pre-season for the Red Devils, Ahmad was handed a starting role against Manchester City and looked terrific against Pep Guardiola's men. It was a fantastic team move that was started by Ahmad and should have been finished by the Ivorian, but he was unselfish in his decision to lay it off for Mason Mount, but it was ahead of the Englishman. Ahmad was playing intricately with Mount, Fernandes and Casemiro and looked superb for the Red Devils. Secondly, Lisandro Martinez's position hints to how United will line up. Earlier today, we got confirmation that United had struck an agreement with Bayern Munich to sign Matthijs de Ligt this summer. Lisandro Martinez started for the Red Devils at left back, and this may well hint as to how Ten Hag plans to line up in defence. With Martinez at left back, United could have Diogo Dalot at right back with De Ligt and Leny Yoro once he's fit at centre back and the Argentine at left back. It would be an interesting decision from Ten Hag, but for now, without Yoro, it would surely be De Ligt and Martinez with Luke Shaw at left back. Excitingly, Mason Mount looked sharp against City. It isn't only Amad Diallo who had a frustrating season, but Mount also had a very disappointing debut campaign for the Red Devils. Mount had a plethora of injury problems for the Red Devils, but this campaign provides the former Chelsea midfielder with a clean slate and he looked sharp. The Englishman has been one of United's bright sparks during pre-season, and he impressed against City as he was involved in some nice link-up play with the forward line, and he could be in for an important season. Next up, Casemiro looked back to his best. Garnacho will get the headlines for his goal, and fans have been left delighted with Amad's performance, but Casemiro's display might be the most encouraging. Casemiro came in for some heavy criticism last season, with the Brazilian midfielder looking slow and sluggish and was caught out far too often. This summer looked to be the end of the Brazilian, with the Saudi Pro League reportedly interested, but a move has not materialised. Casemiro started against City and looked impressive. He played a nice 1-2 with Ahmad, and the Ivorian should have done better. He did give the ball away a couple of times when United were rocked early on, but he grew into the game and had a real impact going forward. Casemiro was heavily involved in several of the nice moves and would have an assist to his name if Rashford had his shooting boots on. It was only a glorified friendly against a midfield of youngsters, but the signs are promising for Casemiro, and it's a performance to build on. His defensive play was much improved from last season, and he needs a good start to the season if he is to stay at Old Trafford for the foreseeable. Finally, Alehandro Garnacho does brilliantly for United. Last season, Garnacho was at a different level for the Red Devils, and if this cameo against City is anything to go by, then it could be another big season for the academy graduate. Coming in from the right, Garnacho took his goal wonderfully well against the Citizens with his left foot as the academy ace rifled into the bottom corner past Ederson. United now have a plethora of options on the right for the first time in a long time, and Garnacho, and indeed Ahmad, could be in for a key season. Despite the agonising defeat, Ten Hag saw multiple things from his team that impressed him. Speaking to the media after the match, Ten Hag was asked what he liked most from his team's display. He explained how United remained in the game even when City had all the ball and didn't crumble under pressure. Let's take a listen to the United boss.
Tough result to take. Yes, definitely. When the performance is right, we are winning, and in the game, and then afterwards in the penalties area as well. If you then lose, that everyone feels this. It hurts in your stomach, and we have to take this. But you have to hurt. You have to feel pain now, because that will drive us. That will give us motivation to do better. And what we can take positive out is that we can compete with City, and we have to take this belief into the league.
Is one frustration you could have been maybe further ahead than 1-0 going into, 3 minutes before the end?
Yes, I think so. First and second goal so important. In the cup final we did very good to produce the second goal already before half-time, after we scored the first, and we had the opportunities.
Penalties are always tough. Somebody has to miss it. It was tough for Jadon Sancho, obviously, after the Euros final here, and then he had the nerve to come up and take a penalty.
Yes, he's a very good penalty taker, and today he missed, and that is part of the game.
What pleased you most about your team?
That we managed it to be on equal level with City, and by getting Rashford higher on the pitch and defending, and we did that very well. And then we got pressure on the ball, and then also in possession we were in the overloading situation in the midfield. We had some very good spells and very good play-throughs and created chances from this. So many positives.
United were mostly terrible at managing games last season and allowed many to descend into frantic affairs with transitions every second. This performance was much more controlled. United also reduced City to just a single shot on target, their goal showing how well they defended for the most part.
This game
he also said
confidence, but also a little bit pain in our stomach when you are twice leading, and in the game and in the penalties area, and you lose, and then you have to feel the pain. And we were very close by another trophy.
I mean, overall, it's good to have these experiences now before the season starts, as well as the pain that you talk about. It's a very passionate team. We always say to play with heart and show that characters, and that's vital for the season.
I was very pleased. So after half an hour, we were very competitive with City, and we came in the fight. And as you say, we were then passionate in the fight, and that is what we demand from our players and our team. So that was very good, and I think we can take this into next week.
United did play some fantastic football in the final third, with several passages of quick interchanges leading to good chances. If they can keep it up against lesser teams, United should be much better this season. What do you think of the performance? Share your thoughts in the comments below.